Welcome to the Loungers Podcast. Hello everybody and welcome back. I want to first wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and hope that everyone got to eat a lot of food and have a lot of fun with family and friends and loved ones. That's what it's all about. Also, if you want to keep up with the different podcasts that we do here at the Lounge, all the podcasts that I do through Spreaker as well, and if you're listening to this on Spreaker, then hit that follow button so you can keep up with every podcast that we publish. If you're listening to this through YouTube, that is just as good. If you're not subscribed to us, hit that subscribe button. And if you don't care to, give us a thumbs up. For that said, let's go ahead and get this started. Now, I've been on the internet looking around for different help files on how to use a program that I found that I've been playing around with a little bit, that really is a very good recording program. It's really good for editing. It's good for having multiple tracks when you're doing recordings. If you're doing maybe a podcast and you want audio, your own audio, and then you want to add some music in with it and maybe some sounds. Audacity is a really, really good program for that. And it's very specific into details. I'm talking, it gets into milliseconds, hours, minutes, seconds, milliseconds. And I mean, you just can't get no more accurate than that. Now, for a sighted person, it's great. Works great. For a blind person, like myself and other people out there that might record podcasts, and even if they just like to do it for fun, right? There's not much on showing you how to do different things with Audacity. Now, I'm a brand new user to Audacity. I've never used it up until, here recently. And I've been playing around with it. But I have yet published a podcast with Audacity. And I'm going to. So, this podcast, I'm going to share with you some of the hotkeys. I'm not going to go through every single one of them because there's over 300 hotkeys that you can use to control Audacity. That is a lot. For this to be a free program, you will find no better. I use GoldWave, but it's not free. I like GoldWave. I like the effects. I like, using it. But of course, I also understand how to use it. Audacity, a little different. I'm still learning, trying to understand how to, set a marker and how to copy a certain piece of text. There's a lot that I still need to learn. But what I've decided to do is, as I'm learning, I'm going to take you through that learning experience and allow you to learn with me. So on this podcast, I'm going to be sharing with you hotkeys for Audacity. All right? So let's go ahead and jump into it and get this thing started. Here we go. All right, so now I've not enabled it where you're going to hear JAWS and all that. I'm just going to verbally tell you what these hotkeys are because there's a lot of hotkeys that, you probably will end up using them at some point. Hotkeys is, a good way to navigate with the program to be able to get the job done on what you want to do. So I am going to go over some with you though. First of all, when you've got Audacity opened up, and you want to, create a new project, you do Control N for new. But let me tell you this. When you open it, you can record right off the fly. So really that's your project. So you don't really got to do that unless you're doing a couple projects at once. Okay. Moving on. To open a project, Control plus O. To close a project, it is Control plus W. To save a project, it is Control plus S, as in Sam. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Audio is Control plus Shift plus I. So that's if you're going to import some audio and stuff. This is for importing, okay? If you're going to import. Anything you're going to import, these are the hotkeys for that. Control Shift I is to import audio. To export audio, Control plus Shift plus E. That is for exporting. So when you want to export some audio that you've done, that's what you could use. Okay. Going through some of these I will not even tell you because they're not really valuable. Exit, Control plus Q. Now here's some hotkeys for editing. To undo, Control plus Z as in zebra. To redo is Control plus Y. Cut, Control plus X. Delete, Control plus K. Copy, Control plus C. Paste, as most of us already know, Control plus V as in Victor. Duplicate, Control plus D. Okay, now we have some stuff for removing audio and other special effects. To split, it's Control plus Alt plus X. Split delete, excuse me, is Control Alt K. Silence audio. That means to silent it or whatever. Control plus L. Trim. Control plus T. That trims it. Here we got some label hotkeys. Paste text to new label. Control plus Alt plus V is in Victor. Here's some stuff for clips and boundaries. Split, Control plus I. Split new. Control Alt plus I. Join, Control plus J for join. Detach at silence. Control Alt plus J. Then we have some label audio hotkeys. Cut is Alt plus X. Delete is Alt K. Split is Shift plus Alt plus X. Split delete Alt Shift K. Silence audio Alt plus L. Copy is Alt Shift C, as in Charlie. Let's go down through some of these other valuable ones as I look here. You know, there's a lot of different hotkeys. But there's a lot of them that you probably won't use. Now, here's some hotkeys for spectral. Now, and I think this might be valuable at some point. To toggle spectral selection, it's Q. Next, higher frequency, lower frequency. There's no hotkeys. You can also assign hotkeys. I'll be covering that later on, so look for another podcast for that. Okay. Start cursor at beginning. Shift plus J. Cursor to end is Shift K. Control Shift K sets a marker on all tracks. I don't know what that means, so you just have to play. You guys are going to have to play around with this program. It is very detailed. You know, I could sit here and go all day and give you all these different hotkeys that I say, hey, those are not valuable, but at some point they will be, right? Some of these keys are, you know, you hit J, it'll take you to the track. End the track, you hit K. Preferences, Control plus P. Let's get into some of the important ones. If you need to get the preferences, Control plus P. You did that at the beginning of this podcast to even get you there. Zoom in is Control plus 1. Zoom normals, Control plus 2. Zoom out, Control plus 3. Zoom to selection, Control plus E. Fit in window, Control plus F. There's one called fit vertically. I have no idea what that means. It's a visual thing, I'm sure. But it's Control Shift plus F. I'll go ahead and tell you. Go to selection. If you've got audio selected, start Control plus your left bracket key, okay? To go to the end of your selection, Control plus your right bracket key, which is right above your enter key on the keyboard. You have your left and right brackets. That's what I'm talking about. Now, here's how you can collapse your tracks, all of them. Control Shift plus C. Expand all tracks. Control plus Shift plus X. Okay. I'm going through here. Now, other important keys. Play and stop is your space bar. Play and stop to set cursor. Shift plus A. Sorry. Shift plus A. Yeah. Shift and space is what they call loop play. Pause is P. Skip to start is your home key. Skip to end is your end key. You know, if you've got that 6-pack of keys on your keyboard, home, and page up, page down, right? Insert and delete. That's the keys I'm talking about. Record is R. Here is a valuable one that I think that some of us speakers will find valuable with this program, and is your timed recorder. You can set how long you want to record. So if you're going to be doing, say, a speech or something, you don't want to go over 5 minutes. This is where that'll come in handy. And then, you know, it's a good way to practice too, because you'll learn to take out stuff and, you know, all that. Shift plus T is your timer recorder. Okay, it asks you to put in the hour, the minute, the second. You know, if you only want it for 2 minutes, and you know, you can tell it that. Yeah, I mean, technically, if you want it to be milliseconds, you could tell it that. But what is that going to do? Append record. Shift plus R. Overdub on/off. There's no hotkey for that. No hotkey. Okay. Here is for adding new tracks and stuff. Control Shift N is to add a new audio track. Okay. To mix and render a track to a new track, Shift, Control, plus M as in Mary. Shift, Control, M as in Mary. To mute all tracks, Control plus U. Unmute is Control Shift plus U. This is for aligning. Okay. Just looking here. Okay. Here's something cool I wanted to talk about with hotkeys. On the next podcast, I want you to listen because I'll show you how to assign a hotkey. When you add effects, there are different plugins you can get for Audacity. For example, I got one called Fire and Explosion Sounds. Anytime I want to add that, I can assign a hotkey to it, right? That's what I'm going to do here. If I wanted to do that, I would set a hotkey. So listen to that next podcast. I almost went to do it now, but that wouldn't help you none. There's pluck, drums you can do, effect menus. Okay, here's some hotkeys that's also valuable. Repeat last effect, Control plus R. Then you have amplify, auto duct, bass and treble, change pitch, change speed, change tempo, click removal, compressor, echo, equalization, fade in, fade out, invert, leveler, noise reduction, normalize, night quiz prompt, pulse ridge, phaser, repair, repeat, reverb. Now, you notice I've not said no hotkeys for that because there is none. You can really customize this program to work the way you want it. Reverse, sliding time scale, truncate silence. One called wah wah, and basically it's like wah wah wah. You know, it's like it's wavy. Like if you're listening with headphones, it kind of waves back and forth. You know, it's wavy. It calls it wah 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 wah. It reminds me of that one thing like wah 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 wah. All right, shut up, John. Adjustable fade, clip fix, crossfade tracks, delay, hard limiter, high pass filter, low pass filter, notch filter, SC4, spectral edit multi-tool. Oh my gosh, I mean, all kinds of cool stuff, you guys. Spectral edit parametric tool, shelves, studio fade out, tremolo, voco remover, vocoder, analyze. Here's the analyze menu. Contrast, I don't know what that'd be used for, but it's Control Shift T. You got plot spectrum, find clip, beat finder, regular intervals, sample data export, silence. All kinds of, like right here, a lot more you can assign. Adjust playback speed, playback volume, recording volume, audio, change audio host, Shift plus H. I don't know what that does. Change gain on focus track, Shift plus G. Recording channels, Shift plus N. You can change your recording device, Shift plus I. I'm looking here. Okay, now, another valuable, helpful one is your full screen mode. I think that, to me, the screen reader works a little bit better in full screen mode. And that's just F11. Guys, there's a lot you can do. A whole lot with this program. There's a multi-tool, which is F6. To mute or unmute. It's Shift plus U. That will mute or unmute a selected track. Next tool is D. You probably not use that now. You can pan to the left and right. I'm not going to cover that right now. You can play the audio for a second to see where you're at with your cursors. And to do that, you just hit the number 1 on your keyboard. Yeah, I believe that's a B. Let me see. No, a P. To play to selection, you hit the letter P, and that will pause and play. There's a lot of other ones in here. You got a selection tool. I don't know what that does. Like I said, we are going to learn this together. Selection to select a certain... I'm not going to do that one because I don't know what that does. Okay. So I just went through a bunch of these. Okay. There's a lot you can do with this program. And if you are visually impaired and you're using Audacity, let me remind you of a couple things here. You might know more than me with Audacity. And if you would like to be that person that makes somebody's day by putting together a tutorial or something, I'd be glad to share it on the podcast. All you got to do is make it, send it to me. You'll get the credit. I promise. I'll say who you are. If you got an email, we'll put it in there and we'll put it up. The goal for all this is for us to help each other with this new program. There's not enough information on the internet for those of us that are visually impaired that use Audacity. There's just not enough out there. I've only came across a couple audio files to show you anything, and they're kind of brief, We need more. So let me know if this was helpful to you. If you are sighted and you use Audacity, let me know. If there's anything you can do to help out, I would be glad to have you on here. Even explaining some of these different values, because right now it don't make sense to me on some of it, right? Because I've never used it. So if you want to be a part of this project, by all means, let me know. Otherwise, give us a thumbs up. Leave your comments below. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you're on Spreaker, hit that follow button. And until next time, keep it real, keep it safe, and we'll talk soon.